Hey everyone, hope you guys are all doing well today. It's Wednesday, August 11th. I'm going to try to get through this quick. This is probably my fourth time recording this video, and I just want to make it very clear and concise. I don't want to confuse you guys. I like to make everything as simple as possible and just give you the idea so that you can go and do your own research. So yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much more. Let's just get into it. I had an observation on RSI regarding looking at it as a trend. I made a post about this maybe a few weeks ago. Let me put this out here. And essentially, for those who didn't see it, you can see an example here where we have if you look at these RSI bars as essentially high, low, a lower high, and a lower low. This is a trend. And then you start putting the puzzle pieces together. You can see this is the divergent. As it's downtrending here, it's actually uptrending on the candlestick chart, which is divergence. That's perfect. Then you can start kind of eyeballing yourself to look for a short, eyeballing the chart to look for some kind of short setup, because you know it's divergence. And on the other way around, you also got to look for a trend in your favor, and that's where that kind of goes into the idea that I had today, or the observation. So I'm just going to give you guys the basic rundown. I want you guys to go back on your charts and look at this yourself, because there's a lot of examples, and I think there's a lot of potential with this. So it has to do with the 15-minute chart. Something about the 15-minute chart, I don't know what it is, but I really just enjoy it, and I feel like there's a lot of potential for finding big moves on the 15-minute. Of course, you still have to look at every other time frame, but as far as gauging like the action, I really do enjoy watching the 15-minute. So that's where this idea comes from, this thought. So the thought is, we know that we have a 5 swing trend, and the 5th move is always the best move. That's the profit move. 1, 2, and 3 are the trend. 4 is a consolidation, manipulation. Call it what you like. It's just an area where they're gonna mess with the traders and try to stop them out. And then finally 5 is the big move, that profit move, and that's where you want to be involved in, because the 5th move is always the cleanest, it's the fastest, it's just it's an easy, nice easy move. So what does it have to do with RSI? Well, my idea, or my thinking, is if we apply the same concept to the RSI, you can find some pretty gnarly moves. So check this out. I've been doing this for a bit now. Just grab a chart and let's do the same exact thing, shall we? So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And look at what kind of move we got. And occasionally, you won't always get this. You can see this candle did break above here, but there was also a bust, pullback, and break here. And it's important to note that sometimes those will actually be your trigger rather than here, because sometimes these candles will be up in the 30 level, 35 level, and you don't want to wait for this to break all the way above those 30 levels, whatever high levels, because it can be, you can miss the move potentially that way. But as long as you have this concept in mind, and you know it's already setting up in your direction, you can pretty well grab these little bust, pullback, and breaks in this bigger picture idea. So let's grab another example. Let's see. We had one here. This one's really a cool example, because it was a lot of chop, and some people might, me myself, I might not have known where to get into to take this long, because you can see that we were divergent here, so you don't want to be grabbing it long. But it's also not excuse me, it's also not enough downside momentum to grab short, so you kind of you don't want to get caught in that chop. However, if you go like this, things start to get, excuse me, let me draw that again. You have your low here, high, a new high. Things start to get clearer, and you can see exactly once these candles started to break this bust pullback and break here, and momentum started to increase. Look at the move you got. It's a ridiculous move. So let's do it again. Potentially you have an example here where we can do it all over again. You can see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one wasn't the biggest move. However, that's a potential trade. I don't disregard any trades, because money's money, green is green. I will take it. I'm only looking for ideally 10 pips per trade, and I would have been happy with that. And then something else, like I said again earlier, occasionally you'll have these little bust pullback and breaks that you can grab. This is a good example of where you're already downtrending, so you don't need to see the full 5 swing move, because we already have a downtrend in motion. At this point here, when this bust pullback and break happened, that was a very opportunistic trigger where you could have grabbed it and you would have captured this entire move, which is a wonderful, wonderful trade. Let's keep going. You had another one here. You had this high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is your move. That's a great trade right there. And it's important to note, like I had just said a couple seconds ago, there's a difference between when you're already trending and you're trying to look for those final 4 and 5 swing moves, or when it's a pure reversal, when it's an actual reversal, because you'll see they kind of look a bit different. You have to be able to find those little differences in each one. So for instance, here's another example. This will probably be the last one. I don't want to go too much longer into this video. You had a high, low, lower high, lower low, and then you get your move. And again, you don't want to wait for this exact candle to break, because look at where it finally broke. It would have been on this candle here. You probably would have only been able to capture that trade right there, that little potential. However, we did have a bust, pullback, and break here. So if you take it on this one, that's your move versus just this. So it's little nuances like that that you have to be able to catch. I'm not gonna go through every single example and try to point everything out. I want you guys to go back and check this out for yourself, but I do want to give you just this concept and see what you guys think about it, because I'm gonna be checking this out a lot more and paying attention to it. I think it's very valuable. I think the RSI is invaluable. It's so incredibly useful, and yeah, I just love it. So you guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want to make this a long video. I will catch you guys on the next one. Later, guys.